Chew this spice for 60 seconds and unleash your hidden strength. Advice for elderly: what if I told you that the weakness you feel in your muscles, the exhaustion that hits you by mid-afternoon, and that sense of losing your physical strength could be reversed by something sitting right in your kitchen cabinet? Something so simple that you've probably thrown it away hundreds of times without knowing it holds the key to unleashing strength you thought was gone forever. I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience helping older men reclaim their vitality. And I've discovered that one common spice, when used correctly for just 60 seconds a day, can trigger your body's hidden strength reserves in ways that will shock you. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 4 critical mistakes older men make that drain their natural power, and the ancient spice technique that has helped thousands of men over 60 feel strong, energized, and physically confident again. This isn't about supplements or expensive treatments. This is about unlocking what's already inside you. Let's begin. Establish expertise. I've spent the last 3 decades helping older men across America restore their strength, confidence, and connection to their physical power. And if there's one thing I've learned, it's that weakness isn't the problem. The problem is what we've never been taught about how our body stores and releases energy after 60. What feels like getting old is often just your body's cry for the right nutrients delivered the right way at the right time. Your strength hasn't disappeared. It's just been locked away, waiting for the right key to set it free. So let's walk through the truth one step at a time. Mistake 1. The breakfast habit that's stealing your strength. Mistake 1. The quick energy morning that actually drains your power. This mistake is something I see almost every week in my clinic. It seems logical, even healthy, but it slowly trains your body to depend on artificial energy instead of unlocking your natural strength reserves. Let me tell you about Frank, 64 years old. He came to me exhausted, frustrated, and feeling like his body was betraying him. "Doc, I used to be strong. I could work all day, play with my grandkids, fix things around the house. Now I feel weak by noon. I've tried everything: protein shakes, energy drinks, vitamins. Nothing works." Frank's morning routine was what I call the quick fix trap. He'd wake up, immediately reach for coffee and a pastry or cereal, trying to jumpstart his energy for the day. He thought he was being smart by fueling up early. But here's what was happening in his body. When you flood your system with processed sugars and caffeine first thing in the morning, you're essentially telling your body, "Don't bother making your own energy. I'll give you an artificial boost instead." Your body has incredible natural energy production systems: your mitochondria, your adrenal glands, your digestive fire. But when you constantly override these systems with external stimulants, they start to shut down. Think of it like using a calculator for simple math every day. Eventually, your brain stops trying to do the math itself. Your natural energy systems work the same way. After months of this pattern, Frank's body had become dependent on external energy sources. His natural strength producing mechanisms had gone dormant. The result? That crash by noon, the feeling of weakness, the sense that his body couldn't be trusted to carry him through the day. Here's what I told Frank to do, and it changed everything. The ancient spice awakening protocol: before anything else enters your mouth in the morning, before coffee, before food, before even water, take 1 small piece of fresh ginger root, about the size of your thumbnail. Place it between your back teeth and chew slowly for exactly 60 seconds. Don't swallow it. Just let the natural oils and compounds flood your mouth and absorb through your tongue and gums. Here's why this works. Fresh ginger contains gingerols and shuggials compounds that directly stimulate your body's natural energy production centers. But when you chew it raw, these compounds bypass your digestive system and go straight into your bloodstream through the rich capillary network under your tongue. Within 60 seconds, these compounds reach your adrenal glands and signal them to start producing natural, sustained energy. Not a spike and crash like caffeine, but a steady, powerful awakening of your body's own strength systems. After 60 seconds, you can swallow the ginger or spit it out. The work is already done. Then, wait 10 minutes before consuming anything else. This gives your body time to recognize and respond to its own natural energy signals. Frank started doing this simple protocol, and within 1 week, he called me. "Doc, I don't understand what's happening. I wake up feeling strong. I don't need 3 cups of coffee to function. And yesterday, I worked in my garage for 4 hours straight without getting tired." 3 months later, Frank had lost 15 pounds without trying. His blood pressure had normalized, and his wife said he moved like a man 10 years younger. You see, your body isn't broken. It's just been taught to expect artificial energy instead of trusting its own incredible power. When you wake up your natural energy systems with the right signal, when you treat your body like the sophisticated machine it responds with gratitude. And that gratitude shows up as strength, endurance, and the confidence that comes from knowing your body can be trusted again. Mistake 2. The afternoon habit that blocks your natural recovery. Mistake 2. The energy crash. Response that trains your body to stay weak. This second mistake is one that keeps men trapped in a cycle of weakness and dependency. It's something most men do automatically when they feel their energy dropping in the afternoon. They think they're solving the problem, but they're actually making it worse. Let me tell you about Harold, 67 years old. He came to me because he was frustrated with his complete lack of energy after lunch. "Doc, every day around 2 p.m. I hit a wall. I can barely keep my eyes open. I've tried napping, I've tried more coffee, I've tried energy bars. Nothing helps, and I feel useless for the rest of the day." Harold's afternoon routine was what I call the crash and burn cycle. The moment he felt his energy dipping, he'd reach for another coffee or a sugary snack, or sometimes both. He thought he was being proactive by refueling when he felt low. But here's what was really happening. Your body naturally experiences energy fluctuations throughout the day. These dips aren't signs of weakness, they're opportunities for your body to reset and regenerate its natural power systems. When you immediately override these natural rhythms with artificial stimulants, you're essentially telling your body, "Don't bother learning how to recover on your own. I'll just mask the problem." Think of it like taking a painkiller every time you feel the slightest muscle soreness. Eventually, your body stops producing its own natural pain relief compounds. Your energy systems work the same way. After months of this pattern, Harold's body had lost its ability to naturally recover from energy dips. His strength regeneration systems had been hijacked by artificial stimulants. The result, deeper crashes, longer periods of weakness, and a body that felt unreliable and unpredictable. Here's what I taught Harold, and it restored his natural energy patterns within 2 weeks. The afternoon strength reset protocol. When you feel your energy starting to dip in the afternoon, don't reach for stimulants. Instead, do this. Take another small piece of fresh ginger this time, about half the size of your morning piece. Place it between your teeth and chew slowly for 60 seconds. But here's the key difference. After chewing, don't swallow. Spit out the ginger and then immediately do this breathing pattern. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. Repeat this 5 times. This combination works because the ginger compounds wake up your adrenal glands, while the breathing pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the part of your nervous system responsible for rest and regeneration. You're not giving your body artificial energy, you're teaching it how to recover and regenerate its own power. After this 3-minute protocol, drink a full glass of water and take a 5-minute walk, even if it's just around your house. Harold started doing this instead of reaching for coffee or snacks, and the transformation was remarkable. "Doc, the first time I did this, I thought it was too simple to work. But within 10 minutes, I felt alert and strong again, not jittery like with caffeine, but genuinely energized." 6 months later, Harold no longer experienced afternoon crashes. His energy stayed steady throughout the day, and he felt physically capable well into the evening. More importantly, Harold had regained trust in his body's ability to sustain itself. He no longer felt dependent on external stimulants to function. You see, your body has incredibly sophisticated energy management systems, but they need to be trained and trusted, not bypassed and ignored. When you give your body the right signals at the right time, when you work with your natural rhythms instead of against them, it responds with sustained strength and vitality. And that strength shows up as confidence, capability, and the deep satisfaction that comes from knowing your body is your ally, not your enemy. Midway re-engagement. If this message resonates so far, leave a 1 in the comments so I know this matters to you. And don't forget to subscribe for more insights designed specifically for men over 60 who refuse to accept weakness as inevitable. Let's keep going, because the next mistake, it's the one that has quietly robbed more men of their strength than anything else. And most don't even realize they're doing it. Mistake 3. The evening routine that prevents overnight strength recovery. Mistake 3. The comfort food evening that sabotages your body's natural repair. This third mistake breaks my heart every time I see it, because it happens when men are trying to relax and enjoy themselves. It's something most men do because they think they've earned it after a long day, but it's actually preventing their body from doing the deep strength building work that should happen every night. Let me tell you about William, 63 years old. He came to me because he was waking up every morning feeling weaker than when he went to bed. Doc, I get a good night's sleep, but I wake up feeling like I've been hit by a truck. My muscles are sore, my joints ache, and I feel like I'm starting each day with an empty tank. William's evening routine was what I call the comfort food shutdown. After dinner, he'd settle in with his favorite snacks, usually something sweet or salty, while watching TV before bed. He thought he was treating himself, winding down after a hard day. But here's what was happening in his body. Your muscles and organs do their most important repair and strengthening work during sleep. But this process requires specific nutrients and optimal blood sugar levels. When you flood your system with processed sugars or excess salt in the evening, you're essentially forcing your body to spend the night dealing with that metabolic chaos instead of building strength. Think of it like trying to renovate your house while there's a fire in the kitchen. Your body can't focus on building strength when it's busy trying to process inflammatory foods. After months of this pattern, William's body had learned to expect evening inflammation. His natural overnight recovery systems had been disrupted. The result, waking up weaker, sorer, and less capable than the day before. Here's what I taught William, and it transformed his mornings within 1 week. The evening strength preparation protocol 2 hours before bedtime. Instead of reaching for comfort foods, do this. Take your third and final piece of ginger for the day this time, the smallest piece yet, about the size of a pea. But instead of chewing it, place it under your tongue and let it dissolve slowly over 2-3 minutes. This slow release method delivers the ginger compounds directly to your bloodstream, where they can work all night to reduce inflammation and support your body's natural repair processes. After the ginger dissolves, drink a glass of warm water with a pinch of sea salt. Not table salt, real sea salt that contains trace minerals your muscles need for overnight recovery. Then, do this simple evening ritual. Sit comfortably and place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Take 10 slow, deep breaths, focusing on expanding your belly rather than your chest. With each exhale, mentally thank your body for carrying you through another day. This isn't just feel good nonsense. Gratitude actually triggers the release of growth hormone and other recovery compounds. William started doing this instead of evening snacking, and the change was immediate. Doc, the first morning after I did this, I woke up feeling like I'd actually slept. My muscles felt ready to work instead of sore and tired. 3 months later, William had gained 8 pounds of muscle without changing his exercise routine. His morning energy was so consistent that he'd started taking on projects he'd been putting off for years. More importantly, William had learned to trust his body's natural recovery systems. He no longer felt like he was fighting his own physiology. You see, your body wants to rebuild itself stronger every night. But it needs the right conditions, the right nutrients, the right environment, the right signals. When you prepare your body for strength recovery instead of asking it to process inflammatory foods, it responds with gratitude. And that gratitude shows up as morning energy, physical capability, and the deep confidence that comes from knowing your body is working for you, not against you. Mistake 4. The mental pattern that blocks your natural power, the acceptance mindset that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This fourth mistake is the most heartbreaking of all, because it's often disguised as wisdom or maturity. It's something most men do because they think they're being realistic about aging. But it's actually programming their body to fulfill their worst expectations. Let me tell you about Thomas, 69 years old. He came to me not because he was sick, but because his wife insisted. "Doc, I don't know why I'm here. I feel fine for my age. Sure, I'm not as strong as I used to be, but that's just what happens. I've accepted it." Thomas had fallen into what I call the graceful decline trap. He'd convinced himself that weakness was inevitable, that accepting it was mature, that fighting it was vanity. But here's what I observed. Every time Thomas talked about his body, he used language of limitation. "I can't do that anymore. I'm too old for that. My body won't let me." He thought he was being realistic, but language isn't just communication, it's programming. Here's what was happening in his body. Your brain controls your strength through something called motor unit recruitment. When you expect weakness, your brain literally sends weaker signals to your muscles. When you consistently tell yourself, "I'm too old," or "I can't," your nervous system starts operating from that assumption. Your body begins to match your mental expectations. Think of it like a thermostat. If you set it to 65 degrees, that's what you'll get. If you set your mental strength thermostat to old and weak, that's what your body will deliver. After years of this pattern, Thomas's body had learned to operate at the level of his expectations. His natural strength was being suppressed by his own beliefs. The result, a steady decline that felt inevitable but was actually optional. Here's what I taught Thomas, and it unlocked strength he thought was gone forever. The daily strength affirmation protocol. Every time you chew your ginger morning, afternoon, and evening, use those 60 seconds to reprogram your strength expectations. While chewing, don't think about your problems or your limitations. Instead, repeat this phrase silently. "My body is strong, capable, and getting stronger every day." Don't worry if you don't believe it at first. You're not lying to yourself, you're giving your nervous system new instructions. After swallowing or spitting out the ginger, say out loud, "I am grateful for my body's strength." Again, don't worry if it feels forced. You're literally rewiring the neural pathways that control your physical capabilities. Then, throughout the day, catch yourself when you use limiting language. Instead of "I can't do that anymore," try "I'm learning how to do that differently." Instead of "I'm too old," try "I'm experienced enough to do this wisely." Thomas thought this was silly at first, but he agreed to try it. "Doc, I felt foolish talking to myself like that, but after a week, something strange happened. I started noticing things I could do instead of things I couldn't." 6 months later, Thomas had started lifting weights again, something he'd given up years earlier. His grip strength had increased by 40%, and he'd begun teaching his grandson how to use tools. More importantly, Thomas had shifted from managing decline to building strength. He'd stopped seeing his body as a problem to be accepted and started seeing it as a resource to be developed. You see, your body doesn't just respond to nutrients and movement. It responds to expectations, beliefs, and the story you tell yourself about what's possible. When you combine the right physical protocols with the right mental programming, you don't just feel stronger, you actually become stronger. And that strength shows up as capability, confidence, and the joy that comes from knowing you're still growing instead of just aging. The overarching truth: your body is waiting for your leadership. After all these years of working with men over 60, I've realized something profound. The biggest mistake isn't any single habit or routine. It's treating your body like it's failing instead of recognizing that it's waiting for your leadership. Every symptom of weakness, the afternoon crashes, the morning stiffness, the sense of declining strength, these aren't signs of inevitable decline. They're your body's way of saying, guide me, lead me, show me what you expect. We were taught to accept weakness as natural, to manage decline gracefully, to lower our expectations as we age. But aging isn't about accepting less. It's about learning to work with your body's changing needs while maintaining your strength and vitality. Your body doesn't need you to be young again. It needs you to be wise enough to give it what it actually needs: the right nutrients, delivered the right way, combined with the right expectations. When you chew ginger for 60 seconds, you're not just improving your physical health. You're telling your body, I'm invested in your strength, I believe in your capability. When you avoid the energy-draining mistakes, you're not just preventing problems, you're creating space for your natural power to emerge. When you speak to your body with respect and expectation, you're not just being positive. You're giving your nervous system permission to access strength you thought was gone. This isn't about denying aging. It's about aging powerfully. Your body has been waiting for you to stop accepting weakness and start expecting strength. It's been waiting for you to stop managing decline and start building capability. It's been waiting for you to remember that you're not just getting older, you're getting more experienced at being alive. When you approach your health as a partnership instead of a surrender, everything changes. The strength returns, the energy returns, the confidence returns. You're not too old, too weak, or too far gone. You're just ready to start leading your body toward strength instead of accepting its drift toward weakness. Conclusion: if this message spoke to you, you're not alone. Thousands of men over 60 have used this simple ginger protocol to unlock strength they thought was gone forever. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated routines. You just need to give your body the right signals, avoid the strength-draining mistakes, and expect greatness from yourself. When you change how you fuel your body, how you recover your energy, and how you speak to yourself, you change everything: your strength, your confidence, your presence in the world. If this video helped you, like it, share it, and leave a comment below telling me which mistake you recognized in yourself. And if you want to help support content like this, honest, practical, and transformative, consider making a small donation. This is how we rewrite the story of aging together. Your body is not failing you. It's waiting for you to remember how powerful you really are. Start tomorrow morning. Start with 60 seconds of ginger. Start with expecting strength. Your body and your life will thank you.